So today, on this auspicious day, myself Rajkumar Singh, I welcome all of you, and I want to give my opinion, which is related to basically SDG, how to achieve SDG. But that I have merged into these three sectors: full employment, nation building, then currency. I am using word currency based economy. So I am using three terms: full employment, nation building, in a currency based economy. Now, basically this thing, being mechanical engineer, how I got interested in this? I had two questions in my mind. That what is the source of currency? Where does money come from? And second question, I had some understanding of second question with my observation only. Second question was that if people work, because whatever we are dealing here, whatever we are seeing, whatever we are eating, it is because of the efforts of somebody. Whatever we consume in life, it is because of the efforts of somebody. Somebody has put efforts to produce it. Otherwise, it cannot be produced. If nobody work in country, we can't eat anything, we can't wear anything, we can't take water, we can't take anything. Everything is produced with the help of some effort. So if people work, there will be some output. So unemployment must be zero. Because in that condition, there will be maximum output for that given technological framework. So these are the two questions in my mind. That why do we have unemployment? So I started thinking, I started discussing with economics, etc. And now we have internet also. During the corona period, I searched on net and found out some answer which I am sharing with you. Ultimately, third point is also there, but it is later on I learned that how currency flow and allocation influence the economic activity, poverty, R&D and national building, etc. So today, basically, our focus is along with the memorizing the dear Ambedkar ji, that we are to achieve the sustainable development goals, where we can talk about few points only, like no poverty. No country should have poverty. No hunger, zero hunger. Like if you look at our country, recently there is a global hunger index. Where is India? Bottom side. Poverty, where is India? Bottom side. In many framework, on negative side, we are from the bottom. We have to count from the negative side. So, how can we achieve it? So that we can have a good country, free from any kind of discrimination, financial, economic, social. So, what I have understood, as an engineer, whenever we study any phenomena, whether it is a natural phenomena or the velocity produced by the fan, what we focus. The first point is, what are the variables involved in this phenomena? What are the variables involved in this phenomena? So I also identify, naturally I have the same training, so I identify, even if it is a social phenomena, that what are the variables affecting it. So what are the variables affecting it? So I have identified two variables. I have identified two variables. If you think about that this is sustainable development 17, then all people who are sitting here, everybody will give some idea that this is the variable, this is the variable, this is the variable. And if there are, let's say, 18 variables, then how difficult it is to model. It becomes almost impossible to model this phenomenon. Then how to find out the outcome. So I have identified only two variables because it becomes easy to handle few variables. First is fiscal policy. What is fiscal policy? We will try to understand, because whatever we have identified the variables, we have to first understand what is the meaning of that variable. So this fiscal policy is nothing but it is the expenditure and taxation by the federal government. This is simple. Expenditure and taxation by the federal government is called fiscal policy. And second thing is science and technology. Second thing is science and technology. Or first thing also can be merged in science and technology. Knowledge means knowledge. Right. So we can convert them into one variable also, but anyway, for sake of understanding and bringing your attention to these variables, I have decided these three variables. Fiscal policy. Because of fiscal policy, currency comes into the system. Then science and technology. Now look at this figure. In this picture, these are centennial people living presently also in our country, in Andaman Nicobar. This is also from Andaman Nicobar, but they are not connection with our society. But we can visualize that thousands years ago we might have been living like this also. But presently, this is India, Andaman Nicobar, very few people. This is again India, one deep, and this is from Amazon, Brazil, and this is some scams. In this society, suppose we are living in this society, what is the role of currency? Zero. Means this variable is not affecting these people life. This variable, which is called fiscal policy, and this fiscal policy is function of state, satta. Fiscal policy is function of state. Means in these people, there is no state. So state and currency do not affect them. This variable is not affecting their life. But if we are living in modern society, let's say, this is a city, these are the technologies through which we have the capability to produce very large grains and large kind of movement of the goods and services. Now you just imagine, from our nowadays experience we can understand, if we don't have money, what is the problem? It is totally problematic. So it means modern society is based on currency. And currency is the product of the two. It is a tool of the state to manipulate or manage resources within the nation. Because every country has its own currency. Every country has its own currency, barring some kind of European country. Every country has its own currency. Right. So with the help of this, we can understand the variable importance, that how this variable, which is called fiscal policy, bringing the currency into system, how it is affecting our life. If we have it, then it is okay. If we don't have it, it is a big problem. And because of how technology changes have increased the productivity. That's why we are here. We are not working in the field, but still we are daily eating food. How is it possible? It is because of technological change. Like in America, only 1% population work in agriculture, and they produce for more than 99% of the people. Even they can produce for the very large portion of the world also. But anyway, so with the help of this figure, basically what I am trying to say is that how to understand the role of currency in modern era. Now, very important point. Most of the people, including our policymakers, they believe that this is the correct representation of the fiscal policy. They believe, including economists. I have met some DU professor or JNU professor. They believe that this is correct. Government takes taxes first, then it borrows from the market, then it spends on defense, police, education, healthcare, road, etc. If this is true, then what is the implication of this? Government spending is based on taxes and borrowing. Means spending is function of taxes and borrowing. Government can't spend. If it wants to enhance the expenditure, it has to increase the taxation or increase the borrowing, and borrowing from the market, it will increase the cost. Even economics people, PhD, who has written the books, they tell like this thing. Now I tell this is wrong. Why it is wrong? I give the justification also. This does not tell, this does not explain. If you look, this is the India graph, this is the American, and this is the Indian graph. How currency, this is 70, 90, 70, 80, 80, 95, 2000, 2010, 2020. This money with the people, if it is dollar, then dollar in the world is increasing over the time. This figure can't explain this thing. This figure can't explain this thing. Then how it is increasing? In this case, it can tell that it is fixed, it is rotating, but it is fixed, but it is changing over the time. Similarly in India, over the time, that it is increasing. This can't explain this thing. So that's why it means something is wrong here, so we have to discard this one. Right. Now come to next point. What is correct one? If currency is created, this is on plus side, then there has to be, this is a simple principle accounting, there has to be minus. There has to be minus. If we have currency, like let's say rupee in our country, if we have a rupee, then there must be somebody minus. Otherwise, it can't come to us. So if we look at the government balance, the government of India balance, then cumulative deficit is going like this. And ultimately, this one and this one, whenever you add with sign, it will be zero. Private, government and foreign. And throughout the world, this is for dollar, but it can be used for any currency. So upper side is dollar in the world per year, every year, and this is the negative dollar, means because government of USA can create dollar only in the world. So it means that if there is a dollar in the world, government of USA has created this dollar and it is accounted as deficit. It is accounted as deficit. Now this is the correct one. In this case, here we have a federal government. Suppose if you talk about currency rupees, then it is government of India. If you talk about the USA, it is the US federal government. And this is private sector. Other than the federal government, everything is private sector. Other than the government, everything is private sector, including the state, like Delhi state or UP state, etc. Municipal corporation. This money comes due to sovereign spending. Because only if rupee can be created, it can be created by government of India through RBI. No entity in the world can create rupee. Like no entity in the world can create dollar, except US government. So it is the sovereign power. Because of that, sovereign spending is happening. And then because of the taxes, some money is destroyed. I am using word destroyed from the purchasing power. So what is the conclusion of this? Conclusion of this is sovereign spending and taxes are independent of each other. This is independent of this. This is not financing the government. This leads to very important conclusion. Very most important conclusion. Means right now, government of India, if I talk about government of India, is spending. This year their projected spending is 40 lakh crores, 48 trillion rupees. And through taxes, 32. Now if we have, what is the very important conclusion from this? If we have more unemployed people, let's say, if we can get work done from them, what we have to get in currency-based economy? Currency. Then they can do some work. So if we have people ready to do some work for the currency, to do some output, then government of India has right to run this equation with 60 lakh crore and let's say 35 lakh crore. Both are independent of each other. If private sector is not able to give job to the people, then government should come into picture and give job to the people. In that way, output will come and demand will be generated, which will be catered by the private sector or government sector, and our country will become rich very quickly. This is the important conclusion, and with the help of some chart we can learn whenever the government is spent. This is US dollar. Government deficit is more, means people money will be increased. And government deficit is less, people money will be added less in that year. If government becomes in surplus, red is for government deficit and black one is showing our currency. If you talk about rupee, then it is our money. If you talk about dollar, this is for dollar. Per year it is showing. If government comes in surplus, then people will be in deficit. Right? This is very important. Now, I am coming to next slide. So, this is my solution. If we want to enhance our education, food and energy security, healthcare, sanitation, hygiene, land, order, environment, research, entertainment, etc., etc. What we need? We require people. If you don't have people, you can't increase. You can't increase the education level, you can't increase the healthcare, you can't increase these things, right? So if we have the people, then we can enhance our education level. If we have a people, we can increase our food security. If we have a people, we can increase our healthcare, sanitation, hygiene, land order, etc., etc. So if we have a people, unemployed people, then government should come into picture. It should not stand that I don't have money. If they are telling it is wrong, based on this I am proving. So they should come into picture, spend very heavily to enhance this sector by utilizing unemployed resources. Then our country will become great and with the help of taxes, basically we are destroying the purchasing power. So now I am coming to end. Very important conclusion. Sovereign nation, like India is a sovereign nation, Pakistan is a sovereign nation, Bangladesh is a sovereign nation, USA is a sovereign nation. They have their own currency. They can create their currency, they can destroy through taxes in their currency, they can manage the demand and supply of that currency. Sovereign nations are resource constrained, not fiscally constrained. This is the important conclusion. Means if we have a people to work, then we can improve our R&D, we can improve our healthcare, we can improve our education, we can improve our hygiene, we can improve our security. If we don't have people, if all people are employed and government wants to increase their healthcare, then it is very difficult. Because you have to make somebody unemployed, then only you can improve your healthcare. Right? If we have unemployed people, we are lucky that you can improve on so many sectors by employing them. Now, this is important conclusion. Now I am just coming to, within 2 minutes I am completing. Like let's say this is one important SDG, no poverty and no hunger, let's say zero hunger. In our country, 105 is our ranking out of 122. Global Hunger Index. And this means 4 factors. Our people, means large number of sections, are not able to eat the cereal requirement, means grain, wheat and rice. This comes in the category of cereal requirement, of daily requirement. This is first. Second, our children below 5 years, either they are stunned, means they should achieve certain height. If they are not achieving that height, that is the second thing. At up to 5, they should have some weight. If that is not correct, we are not able to achieve that, it comes into that. Then malnutrition. Now if we want to achieve, right now, India is in surplus in food. Is it true statement or wrong statement? It is true statement. We can collect the data and we can say it is true statement. In fact, when I was of your age, we used to listen that American government gives money to the farmer that not to show anything this year. Because there is no demand. Now I have heard through newspaper and it is data you can see. Government of Punjab and government of Chhattisgarh. I know about these, at least these states, that they give money to the farmers that you don't show the paddy. People give you this much money. Similarly, government of Haryana, they have land, lot of land in different villages. They go to tender for that land and ask, you don't have to show wheat and rice. Other than this, you can show. Now, if we have a surplus situation, then why we have hunger? If we have a surplus in production, suppose we are 140 crore people, and our farmers, with the kind of technology we have, we are producing of food which can be consumed by 120 crore people. Then it is acceptable that we don't have the food. It cannot be produced. Then if people are dying, nothing wrong, I am telling you. But if we have a surplus and still people are hungry, there is something serious in our policy making. Serious wrong, right? If I say no poverty means people should have some home, some kind of cloth, some kind of basically, once we have made currency based economy, they should have some kind of earning every month. Then they can manage their life. So if the government of India, let's say, decide that we give job of 20,000 rupees each, let's say, minimum, but my aim is that 20,000 to 50, because I think that no engineer should remain unemployed. I am of this opinion. So, but if you are doing engineer, if you are doing masters, you should be given more salary. Naturally, you are more trained. So if we get this insured salary, that if you don't get job in the India or abroad, you come to us, I will give you job of 20,000 if you are unskilled. If you are skilled, like graduate or postgraduate, I will get job of 50,000 per month. And these are the jobs. It depends on our creativity and imagination, whether we can use our people for building our nation. If we don't have creativity, then it is fine. We are done. But it may be because of political reason. So if we implement this policy, no poverty, zero hunger and other sustainable goals can be achieved within a year. Within a year, I am telling you. In my opinion, based on my model. But we are telling wrong things. We are teaching wrong things. That government is fiscal constraint, not resource constraint. It is taught at all economics people. I met several high kind of people. They tell that we are very high people. They have written several research papers, but they are taught like this and they understand like this, like common man. So here I stop. Thank you very much.